Wow.
I was one of the original Pussycat dolls, but it only lasted like 2 weeks because apparently I'm too pretty.
We're here. It happened. Clamps is here. Can y'all hear Clamps? I
Hello.
hope you can hear Clamps. Hello. I'm going to turn the music off. Hi, friends. Welcome. I can't remember if I had music playing last time, but we're here. We're live.
And
Who are
we're wearing
we?
Bill's
I
jersey.
know, go Bills. It's Bills game day. I forgot that it was games day when we planned this. But maybe Clamps is a little quiet on it. On it. Didn't know Clamps could be too quiet, but
Didn't
that's okay.
know either.
Ooh,
Hey,
that
I'm
was
supposed
loud.
to.
Listen, we're gonna make it work. But welcome in everybody. Hi friends. Wowder's here and Johnny's here and Nisks is here. Um, watching the movie, watching. Oh, so Jackie plays stuff. Jackie watches stuff is my podcast, chronicling the cinematic quest to find my cinematic quest to finally watch the movies I should have already seen. So I have since watched Alien, and Clamps and I are going to talk about it. But I had not seen Alien since before, basically yesterday, when I watched it, which was pretty wild. That was my experience. Also, if y'all haven't followed Mr. Clamps, you should because he's a great streamer.
Sometimes.
Well, is a great streamer.
What I do stream.
Yeah, is a great streamer all the time. Streams sometimes. That's the play. But hope everybody's doing well. I have some feelings about this movie, but
Uh,
every start of every Jackie Watches Stuff episode, I would do a quick 30-second recap of the movie, and you get to time me while I race through an entire plot. Would you like to time me?
all right, let's do it.
Okay, count me in.
30 seconds. Starting in three, two, one, go.
Okay, so there's this towing rig in space, and they're doing their
Hold
thing.
on.
Oh
Hold on.
no!
That was 30 minutes. Okay, hold on. All right.
Yes, it's a 30-minute recap of a 2-hour movie. That's exactly what this is.
Okay.
Okay.
Three, two, one, go.
Okay, so there's towing ring in space and they're doing their thing, but then Mother was like, nope, nope, change the plans. And then they crash land on this planet and it doesn't look great. And then they find this old ship and it's spooky inside. And then they find this alien that attacks them and attaches to Kane's face. That's terrible. But Kane doesn't die. And then, oh, wait, yes, he does die because an alien busts out of his chest and he grows up real fast and gets real hungry. And then he kills all the crew one by one. And then Ripley, Sigourney Weaver, saves the cat and ultimately blows up the ship and then kills the alien too. The end.
With 7 seconds to spare. Very
Fuck
nice.
yeah. I'm so good at this.
Total random thought right I just have right now. There is a very famous screenwriting book called Save the Cat.
Okay.
That the entire compass of it is when you're writing a script, you want your hero to have a save the cat moment in the very
Okay.
beginning of the movie to establish that they are the likable and like supportive hero.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I'm just thinking right now, I wonder if that book was inspired by this movie.
I have a lot of thoughts on the cat. This was not my initial, like, I did not have this as my, like, let's talk about this, but now that we're talking about the cat, I appreciate that they established that there was an establishing shot that was like, there's a cat here. Like, he's vibing with them when they eat breakfast in the first scene, and I'm like, there's a cat. And then the cat comes back later because he's got to go find the cat, and then the cat watches his friend die, awkward. And then the whole time when she's like, we're going to blow up the ship, I'm like, they better fucking talk about this cat. Like they cannot say now. Like they can't tell me that the cat exists on this ship and then blow it up. And so there's many scenes where she's lugging around this cat carrier and I'm like, okay, good. We've acknowledged that the cat is alive and everything is safe. And then she put it in like the little pod at the end when she like blew everything up. So it's like he's not getting killed by the gas. So I was very happy about that.
I I I like and I also like at one point I think like I'm a huge animal person. I'm just like I love cats, I love
Mm-hmm.
dogs, all that stuff. So I always save
Cats.
the animals. But I think at one point like it was like the sixth jump scare that the cat was responsible for, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just like, at what point do you just say, "Fuck this, I need to get out of here"? Sorry, cat, you have your own.
Yeah, like, hey cat, I love you so much, but like you're kind of on your own. I know you can understand me because I know all cats can understand English. Like it's your thing now. It's on you. Like super
Right.
sorry, dude. Yeah, he does do a lot of who does I should probably go back and check this. Does the alien or the cat do more jump scares in this movie? I almost might think the cat.
I think it's the cat. I mean, I think the alien only does like two jump scares. Like, there's the jump scare. I guess you could consider the chest bust a jump scare.
I would. I would.
Um, and then I think the only other one is with Dallas in like the air vents when he does like the hug me thing.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's
and
like
like I think
kind of expect like you know he's in there and also Like he
Right.
wasn't really like rah. But I do think the cat is responsible for more jump scares. That would be
Yeah, definitely.
my thing. My thing. Thank you, Penguin, by the way, for the kudos on my recap.
Oh, that's my wife.
I try.
That's Mrs.
Oh, hey.
Clamp.
Oh, my goodness. Welcome in. Thanks, Mrs. Clamps. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. Also, I do want to, I agree with Wouter. Who is Mother? Mother is weird and creepy. Don't like it.
Do you want the lore of Alien?
You know I love lore clamps. Let me just sit
So
back.
in the world of Alien, the world is pretty much like Earth is pretty much governed by one organization.
Okay.
The TV show that just came out kind of made some more stuff up with this three organizations, but really it's the Weyland-Yutani organization that really just kind of like, yes, Disney, that really just kind of like overrides everything. It's their responsible. Mother, from my understanding, is like a not exactly AI, but it is kind of the computer of the ship that kind of like runs everything
That's what I
that is
got.
relaying messages from Weyland-Yutani. Um, so Mother is not an actual person organizing it, nor is it like an AI synthetic like what Ash is, spoiler alert. But
Yeah,
it
we
is
can
kind
talk
of
about
like
that.
relaying all information that the crew member is getting, from my understanding.
Interesting. Yeah. The thing that like got me was when it was like, ooh, sorry, like science lead mind or science leads eyes only or whatever. And I was like, oh, this thing like is sassy. Like this thing knows what's
Right.
going on. But clearly in cahoots with Ash. That was again, not on my list, but like that was the weird, probably the weirdest twist for me of the entire movie, that he was a robot that was sent by
hmm
the overlord, whatever. Like that was the one thing that I
Synthetic
was like
corporation, yeah.
missing. I was like, okay, so these guys were on this like towing mission, but the whole time it was actually to gather this weird alien thing, but they didn't just send people. There's got to be people whose jobs it is to actually go and capture aliens. If there's like
Well,
space truckers, there's got to be space hunters, right?
what I think happened, I mean, to analyze this as just this sole movie with never an intention of a sequel being made or
Sure.
anything like
Yeah,
that,
we're in the
is
lore
that
here.
is that Ash. I don't know if the original mission of the crew or from the corporation was intended to find the planet and investigate the organism. I
Hmm.
think they picked up I think the synthetic went along, um, and I think it may have gotten new orders along the way of we have discovered this planet.
Mm,
This is primary directive now. Um, I mean, you could reanalyze things based off what happens in later movies, but I think based off of this movie alone, I think that like it was just going along as like standard issue robot. Don't tell the crew, you
sure.
have your own stuff to deal
Super
with.
normal.
And then when they discovered this, primary directive was overwritten, and this is priority one now. What I imagine is what happens there.
Interesting. These poor, they just wanted to do their towing and make their coin or their shares, which I didn't understand what that was, but it lost meaning anyway halfway through. They were like, "Well,
That's what I,
we need a
that's
share."
what
I'm
I
like, "What does
love
that
in
mean?"
the beginning is that these guys just care about money. It's just like
Yes,
everything is just motivated through money, which I think
which is
excuses a
fine.
lot of stupidity.
It's fair enough. I mean, I actually was surprised, and I like missed basically everybody's character name in this movie, and so I hate to say the black guy because there is of course the token black guy in 1979, but like he gave me such like fuck this, I'm not participating attitude, but then at the end was like so ready. And so I don't know where the shift was, maybe because just like he knew he was going to die and so he was like ready to go, but I was surprised he wasn't more of like fuck no, like let's just get this shit back where we need to go and make our cash and leave. But
I mean, he actually brought up. He's the first person to say, "Let's not," like when they are woken up and they're eating, and then Dallas is like, "Hey, we have to crash ship. We have to investigate." He's the first person to object to it, being like, "I'm not getting paid to do this.
right.
Like, let's go back to sleep."
Yeah.
And it wasn't until they reminded that like refusing to do so forfeits all of your shares. Their shares is just like their earnings
That's what I
essentially.
figure. I was like, someone
Right.
describe what a share is. I'm like, I'm getting it from context clues, but maybe I'll get it later. And they just never really revisit it, which is fine. But yeah, unfortunately, he dies anyway.
Right.
But that was actually one thing that I wanted to talk about, was that I actually don't know why I did not expect everybody to die in this movie. Like, as people were getting like knocked off like one by one, I still was kind of like, oh, this little crew of 5 is going to make it. I thought Dallas was more of a main character and he was going to make it, like as kind of like leader of the ship sort of thing. Wow.
I actually
Sorry for the
wanted to
spoilers.
ask you that.
What?
Um, who did you think is the main character of the movie? Would you think it was Dallas?
Well, I think it like for me it was like, okay, it's Dallas, and then it pivoted to be more of like Kane, maybe like Kane or Ash kind of thing, because I'm like, okay, something's happening here, and I thought maybe like when Kane was alive, was did not die for like 45 seconds between waking up and eating dinner and then dying again.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, maybe this is going to pivot to something with Kane, and maybe he's going to turn into an alien, or something's going to happen. But then I got very like, it got a little like diluted towards the end, but then of course they put the pin in it when Sigourney Weaver is starting to like actually take control as like third officer or whatever she was. So yes, definitely thought Dallas was going to be it. And so when he was up in the ducks, I did not think he was going to kill the alien in the ducks. I'm like, this, we are like not even halfway through this movie, there's no way. But also didn't think he was just going to flat die. I thought maybe he'd be like also suction cupped like Kane was or something. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was an interesting pivot, because normally you don't see that coming in a movie, or you don't normally don't have that in a movie, I should say, where it's like, oh, never mind, it's not about him anymore, it's about her.
Yeah, it's a really cool subversion that Ripley is the main character only because she is the last one surviving.
Yes.
Like I think that is really clever. Like, and I think there's a lot of like, this script was written. I don't know if you saw my note there. The script was written with everyone being gender neutral,
Oh,
only
cool.
referring to people by their last names,
Mm-hmm.
to like kind of create a broader sense of casting that like anyone can be this, character. Um, so like they really just went with like the best option for us as being like, all right, we have to have a guy because the script says it and it's the 70s and sexism
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. Um, and I can't help to think of like there's so many moments that like were probably not really intentional in the script itself, but due to the casting of like before Asher's betrayal of being an android, you could just think this guy's just being a sexist asshole of trying to
He was
like
so, oh my
subvert
god, I wanted to kill him.
Ripley's decisions all the time.
Yep.
It's so like interesting the way like it's portrayed like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then one by one, everyone just kind of dies, and Ripley is just the last one
Yeah.
standing, who was the smartest one the whole time too.
Yes, she was very like, the quarantine thing. I was like screaming at the TV, but then of course I understood it after Ash was like, "Yeah, lol, this was my whole plan the whole time." So, haha, sucks to
Right.
suck. But it was that was very interesting. I also was super mad at Ash most of the movie, because I hate him, but um, I'm glad he died and was terrible. His death scene was the most uncomfortable and strange scene I've seen in a long time of
Just
death.
some random white
I
liquid
was like,
spewing out.
is this milk? Is this something else? Like, it's pretty weird. If y'all haven't seen the movie, definitely just like search Ash death scene alien and just watch a cream treat, if you will. Yeah,
I am a
something
huge
like
fan of
that.
these films. I don't know what is inside synthetics, why why
Well, when
they
we
have
get
white
to
liquid inside.
fast facts later, when we get to fun facts later, I found a fact about all of the stuff they use for the alien chess scene. Get ready. Get ready.
Oh.
I've got facts. I've got facts. One thing I wrote down that I want to talk about was the pace of this film. And I clearly do not have the context of movies that were happening around this time, and what they felt like, but it felt so slow to me. Like, I was like, can we move forward, please? Like, when they crash the ship, I'm like, okay, great. And we're exploring this area. Takes so long to do so little, and like finally approach this ship and like all these things. It just took so long for me, but it wasn't slow in a suspenseful way. Like, I felt like some suspense, but then all of a sudden it went too long and I was like, okay, I'm just bored now. And so I don't know if that was just me because I'm like a impatient person, or because movie paces have changed and so I'm not used to it. But I was just like, like,
I
can
mean,
we?
I think it definitely reflected of the times. I think horror films, especially horror films, have really changed in how they do pacing.
Hmm.
I personally think for the worse, but um, things today are way more flashy, blah 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 blah, things like that. Um, it definitely is slow. I'll give you that. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Spaceballs. Like the opening shot of Spaceballs is a
Yes. Oh my God, you're
exact
right.
parody of this, of how long it
Yes,
takes for
it
the
takes
ship to
forever.
pass by.
But see, I allowed it in Spaceballs because it is not a serious film. And
Right.
so,
Um, but I mean, I love the these shots of the spaceship and how long it takes to pass by. I love just for the sake that it's a miniature. Like they built this thing, they got to do extreme close-ups because a wide shot you're gonna ruin the
yeah.
effect of like
Hmm.
they do some wide shots and you can tell it's a miniature and it's kind of on
Yeah.
wires and whatnot.
Yeah.
When you do these close-ups,
It looked
one it
good.
feels claustrophobic. It looks great. You can see the details of
Hmm.
everything, and it feels very claustrophobic, which kind of sets the tone of you're in this like tight corridor area,
Hmm.
and you really see how long the ship is, and you kind of have this idea of
It was
later
like,
on when they're in the ship, they only got this much room to deal with.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It definitely
Um,
took me some time to like adjust to the pace of this movie. And there were some scenes that I was like, this could be half as long. Like
right.
when, oh my gosh, well, I forgot his name. Guy goes down to look for, they've already split the party. And then they were like, go find the cat. And he goes to find the cat. Dude goes to find the cat and he's down in like the mechanical room. And there's a scene where there's like water dripping down from the ceiling. And he just
Hmm.
stands under this water and like lets it run on his face, which fine. But that happens for like 20 to 30 seconds. And it's doing nothing. Like this is not establishing tension. Like why are we watching this man just like let this like rain where whatever water this is fall in his face. I must have missed the artistic vision in that scene. But I was like, dude, like, okay, great. You're getting, and he's just like taking a minute, and I get it. Like he's like in a stressful situation, so he's just kind of taking a second. But I'm like, this is not giving me anything. Please go find the cat. This is very important. The cat is much more important to me in this moment, sir. Like, I'm gonna need you to go find the cat. And if he didn't take
Character
so long, he might not
choice.
have died. Who knows?
Character choice. It was his decision to do like the water part,
It was.
like on the spot. But fun fact with that scene, you actually see the it's called a xenomorph,
Mhm.
the alien, hanging in the chains before it actually revealed. Like it's just kind of swinging back and forth, like
Yes, that I
stalking
saw.
its prey. You did see that. I did not see that until last night watching it for the first
I
time. I
didn't
was like,
see it
oh,
during like
it's
the
right there.
rain. I didn't see it through the rain part, but there was another part where I'm like, oh, they just showed like a shadow. Like they saw like a shadow of him,
Mhm.
which was I thought good. Like that's a little bit of tension, but I think in today's movie standards, they would like they would really like accentuate that. They'd be like, see, do you see the shadow right here? People, look at what we found. And this, like to your point, it's like was just a shadow, and if you missed it, you missed it.
Right.
But
Well, there's a shot you just straight up see it too. Like it's not even a shadow. It is like the camera looks up, and there's like chain swinging back and forth, and it's just hanging on the chain.
I do remember
And like
that one.
full through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like the first time the audience sees it in its full form. It's such an
Oh,
easy thing to miss
true.
because last time you saw it, it's like a little tiny
It's like a
thing.
little bug, yeah.
Um, I think that's a cool shot. But yeah, it is that scene in particular I find interesting because there's so many shots that I think have been established in our mind of, up to 2025 in horror films of you're expected to see the alien rise up behind. Like there's so many shots
Sure.
framed of like intense depth of field. Everything's out of focus behind him. You're almost trained in your mind to expect to see him, the alien, just stand up behind him,
Yeah,
ready to, and
100%.
then nothing happens. Um, and I wonder what it was like in the 70s, because like I don't know how many horror films beforehand kind of did a shot like that.
Sure.
So I don't know what the attempt was on the original viewing of that.
Yeah.
Um, but I think on review, I think it's very rewarding because it's
Hmm.
just kind of like I think it builds up a lot of tension, but I can see it does go on for a while at the same
Yeah.
time.
I think that's where it was, is that like I appreciate the tension build of it, but when it goes too long, I'm like for me, I'm like, okay, I'm over it now. Like I'm like ready. I'm
You're
like, oh
just
gosh, what's gonna happen? And then when it's just like, oh, we're not doing anything, I guess I'm just gonna hang out here. But like
it's
when
just
there's
kind of
nothing.
like endless tease of tension.
Oh yeah, Blitz, I see you. Yeah, absolutely. And they did that this little like subtle shadow thing in this too. I'm sure there were more of those little like not Easter eggs, but like subtle. hints that you don't really see. Especially this movie's pretty like dark, like light dark. And so some stuff I'm sure I missed because it visually is a darker film. And of course, a lot of flashing lights because, you know, they probably didn't want us to see the exact costuming on the alien costume. I can't imagine it was, not to say it wasn't well put together, but
I mean, the costume's pretty goofy looking. I'll give it that.
they
Like
can
at
only
the
do
end
so much.
when it's ejected out of the shuttle and it's just free
Yes.
flying through
Yes.
space and it's kind of goofy looking.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Jaws, where like, I mean, this movie is essentially Jaws in space.
Yes, that's exactly what my husband said. He's like, it's Jaws. You don't really see Jaws. It's just
And
the
like
idea
it's
of
kind
Jaws.
of for a similar reason. The shark looks terrible,
Hmm.
and it also broke in Jaws, so they had to find another way to establish it coming. So they
Yep.
came up with all these creative shots. Similar thing with this, I'm sure it just it looks spooky at its close-up
Yeah.
angles, but like you show a wide shot of this
And it's
thing,
like
it's like this is a guy in a
it's like
suit.
I'm not scared of this. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of flashing lights, like the fact that the self-destruct alarm was going off, I think in the film probably for like 10 to 15 minutes total, like straight, like we're just watching flashing lights for that long. But I get why they did it, of course. So that was the part for me actually at the end with the self-destruct and like she's trying to out like beat the clock and then all of a sudden mother's like lol you thought you were gonna blow me up, that's so cute. Like that was actually a really good moment of tension for me and like maybe because it was faster paced, but there's a lot of different things happening. Of course I've got the cat in the back of my mind, the most important character in this entire film. But that was probably like the in terms of feeling engaged and tense for me, that was like the highest level of that at the end of the film. But
Yeah, I love the end of it, like the last 20 minutes or something like that, because um because especially with like Ripley herself, like throughout the whole movie, she like does not really show emotion. Especially as the chain of command starts to dwindle and she is just standing there herself. Compared to what's the other character's name? Lambert, who's very emotional the whole time. Proper responses. Like I used to think, like as a kid, like oh my god, she's kind of annoying. But like as an adult, it's like you know what? This is how I would react, honestly. Like just just extreme breakdown. And Ripley, on the other hand, is like you have to hold yourself together. Um, but then when she's the last one surviving, she lets all that go, and she's just an emotional wreck.
mhm.
And I love the split of that of like when she's has to be the leader, she has this responsibility. And one by one, as everyone starts to go, she just slowly loses the grip, and
Yep.
by the end of it, she's just throwing
She's
shit
a
at the
hot
computer, and it's like,
mess.
Mama!
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, she was a hot mess at the end, which I'm like, girl, you deserve this level of panic. I would be panic.
Right.
I would have been panicking long before this. Much like the other woman who I do. You said that this was cast like like it was written gender neutral.
Yeah.
But the other woman, like I was like, oh, are we just leaning into this like women are hysterical stereotype? Because she was like a like when what's his face was up in the ducks and she's just like sobbing and like panicking and crying and like you're going the wrong way, no, not that way, but and then like when she goes to die, like she's this like she's just very hysterical woman to me, which was kind of like icky, but maybe that was just her acting choice instead of the
Right.
direction of the show.
I mean,
But
I feel like I'm most like her. Like I feel in that
oh,
situation,
same.
I feel
I
like
am a
would be
hysterical woman. Like
right.
I'm not mad at it, but like
I think it's over the. I mean, it stands out because no one else is really that hysterical throughout the whole
yes.
thing. But
Mhm.
100%,
Oh,
her reactions are what my reactions. If
yes.
something bursts
Most
out of
accurate.
somebody's chest,
Yeah.
like I would react like that.
That was
Um,
actually the one thing that was like the weirdest reaction to me was like when this alien busts out of his chest, nobody moves. Everybody stays there. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. You're covered in blood. An alien just ran out of your friend's chest and he's dead and y'all are just like, well, now what? Like I'd be like running, panic, like crying, screaming, like no. And so that was actually the wildest thing. That was the most unbelievable part of this whole movie to me was that everybody was like, yeah, man, that's pretty wild,
It's
huh?
it's funny you say that because no one knew that was gonna happen on the set.
Yes. Okay,
Um,
this is on my list of facts I was going to share later.
yeah. It was they intentionally withheld from the cast that something was gonna bust out. Like I think they knew he was gonna die, but like besides R.I.P. great oh my God, what's his name? Who played Kane?
Oh, I'm
John
bad with
Hurt,
actors'
late
names.
great John Hurt. Um, Besides from him, like no one really knew that he was gonna like something was gonna pop out of it. So their reactions are actually genuine. That they had no idea that
I
like
know.
this little creature was gonna like. I don't know how they filmed it because obviously there has to be a cut to replace what's gonna be there. But like,
Sure.
I'm sure he had some sort of like blood pack that spurted out. Um, so at least some part of that reaction is genuine.
Super,
Um,
super stunned.
but I
It's
do
so
love
crazy.
Ash's reaction to that whole thing, knowing that he's like going back to look at it, knowing he's an android. Like,
Hmm.
there's a super specific shot that he's like telling a joke, laughing, eating something. The camera starts to pan, and right before it leaves Ash's face, he goes from like this human smile to a dead-on serious look, looking at Kane, like he's
Oh,
waiting for something to happen.
interesting. I did not,
Um,
definitely did not notice that.
yeah,
That's really
it's very subtle that like um I don't even think he knows what's really going to happen, but he knows something's going to happen because
yeah.
there's an earlier shot where he's looking at a computer screen and like a microscope and all the stuff. And Ripley comes in to talk to him and yell at him for letting people on the ship,
Hmm.
and he quickly turns off the computer screen and stops Ripley from looking into the microscope. And if you look what's on the screen, it kind of looks like a fetus. Like
Oh,
it
really?
not really a human fetus, but you could see like a little facial structure and things like that. And he quickly turns off the screen. Ripley's like, "What are you looking at?" And he's just, I honestly don't know what this is."
And I
Um,
remember that scene, but I don't remember. I didn't
yeah,
catch that part. That's
it's such a
cool.
subtle little thing that like
Little
it's like a
hints,
little face that what you might see on like a fetus, but like obviously more like alien looking.
like a worm.
Um, yeah, it's a real subtle thing.
I think I remember that scene now because he's like, "Oh, what's inside him?" And it's like, "Oh, it must be feeding his oxygen or taking his oxygen or something." And so I remember looking
Right,
directly, like obviously at what he was looking at, but I didn't catch like what
right,
that might be. It just looked like a big like black shadow. So now, of
right.
course, you kind of put it all together. That's funny. That's really interesting. Um, my thing, this is where I start getting annoyed at different plot, like stupid plot holes or like people being dumb. I like that you were like, oh, nobody's really that stupid because of money. And I'm like, no, this one thing was real stupid. Kane. Kane was real stupid. And Kane was real stupid because they just show up to this random ass planet and they just touch stuff. Like he touches any like whatever. He's like, "Oh, there's this mist like on the ground. Let me just put my hand through it." Why would you do that? You don't know what this mist might be acidic and like burn your whole hand off. And then he finds the eggy thing and then just like pokes it and then gets his whole face sucked off. And it's like, dude, like maybe just like take 2 seconds and like not touch everything. And so that like really annoyed me the whole time because I would understand like now that I've seen the whole film, like if maybe Ash was out there and so he had a secret agenda and so he is trying to like poke around and find stuff, but Kane's just like burp it or burp burp and like touches stuff and like does whatever, and then he has this terrible scene when he slips like near the eggs, he like slips or something. It's do you have this image burned in your brain because it will never leave mine? Like when he slipped, he like actively the actor basically just kind of like sat down and kind of rolled over and was like, "Oh no, I just slipped." And I'm like, "No, you could you make it a little more believable? Like totally like
I,
believable at all?" It was crazy.
I think there is some. I mean, it is a funny slip, especially because he has like the wire attached to him, and I was like, "What's the point
Yes.
of this wire? Like, it doesn't help keep him up." Um, but I think there's some excusability on the stupidity of the hubris of man,
Sure.
in a sense. Because I was telling my wife about this that like there the human race is stupid, right? We can all agree on
What?
that. Uh, and as a whole, they are individually smart people, but like I think what's the line from Men in Black that humans are a person is smart, a person is smart, people are stupid, or something like that.
Okay.
Um, and like so there's people being stupid to advance the plot, which are things I don't like,
Sure.
which we have our fair share in alien movies. I know you've only seen this one. Prometheus and Alien Covenant are like the greatest example of just people being stupid for the sake to get the plot moving.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I
and
also hate that. That's annoying.
I hate those movies so
Yeah.
much. I do think that in the context that they're because only Ripley knows that it is a distress signal. I like that she kind of discovers that, and she's like, I don't think this is a an SOS beacon. I think this is a warning or something like that.
Yes.
So they're going in thinking it's a distress beacon. They need to help somebody. Um, yeah, maybe you don't put your hands in there, but like, I think the curiosity of just like, where are we? Like, just
Yeah.
this is kind of like, nothing can stop me.
Yeah.
I
You
think there's a little bit of excusability for his. He is being stupid. I'm not going to deny that. I don't think it's stupid for the sake of just proceeding the plot. I think it's
Yeah.
stupid in the sake of humans are naturally curious,
Sure.
and the threat wasn't the threat seemed long gone, especially because they find that dude in the
That is a
chair
good point. That is a
who
good
was like
point.
fossilized.
Yes, yeah. He definitely I can understand why he would feel a little invincible because it didn't seem like it's like, oh, it's mist and some eggs and like a dead guy all the way over there. But it's like,
Right.
dude, really? Like, is this your first time in space or anywhere? Like, you don't just touch stuff, but
It might
uh,
be. I mean, I wouldn't touch it. I'd be like, dude,
no.
shit.
Yeah, it's like, go ahead, Kane, like, do you, man? I'll be over here. But then what
But
killed
when the
me,
egg opens up, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, go.
Just like when the egg opens up, like I think there is a natural curiosity to be like, well, one, it's a baby, and
Sure.
it's like whatever's in there is a little tiny baby. Like I'm sure I'm a grown ass man. I can
I
take
can
care of
handle
it.
it. Yeah.
Right.
No, you
There's a whole
can't.
debate online of like one man versus 100 gorillas, like who would
Yes.
win, like shit like that. I'm sure Kane's got that mentality. I could take down whatever's in this little egg. So he looks over it, natural curiosity, right? What's inside? What's the
Aw.
worst that could happen? Oops,
Right to the face.
shoved down my throat.
Right to the face. Well, and that's the Blitz, my God. It was funny because he even like put the light up and he's like, oh, something's in here. Like, it's like, oh yeah, this might
Right.
be a live, like living thing, my dude. Like, whatever. But it was just like that whole part bothered me. And then what was so wild, again with the weird like reaction shifts, is like they get back to the ship and Dallas is like, hey guys, so Kane's got this like thing on his face. Like he's just like so chill about it. He's like, yeah, like he's got this thing on his face. He could maybe die. Like, could you let us in? And Ripley's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You
No.
said what now? You want us to what? And he's like, yeah, if you could just open that. Like, he was so chill about it. And I was like, are we not concerned? Like at all? But then they are concerned.
Right.
And then speaking of being dumb, I'm going to pick at it. I mean, Ash knows, but their protective gear against this thing that sucks on faces is a gas mask. Nothing else. I'm like, are y'all see this, right? Like it busted through his space helmet and you're like, yeah, this gas mask thing should be fine. And if you're concerned about like any like weird odors or whatever, like anything that can get in the air, like it is gonna get in your eye holes now because you have no protective eye hole things. And so I was just
Right.
very annoyed. The science behind this does not work.
Well,
That's me being angry.
that is to show that they are horrendously ill-equipped. They're not a science vessel. They are a commercial towing thing. They're bare bones. Actually, I
true.
love a previous shot of this, which I'm sure is not the actual intention, but when they go to land on the planet and Dallas is like, turn on the landing lights, and it looks like Christmas LED lights like hanging on the bottom of the ship, like kind of like a cheesy effect almost, like
Yes.
it's the 70s. They don't
Sure.
got the greatest technology. They put that there, but it really sells in the idea that like this is not equipped
That's true.
for
Not what they're
like
meant to do.
high
Yeah.
stakes, right?
Yeah.
So I think some of that is excusable in the sense of just like they got like a flamethrower and a cattle prod, and that's pretty much
Walking-
all they got in terms of like military. Because they're not supposed to kill people. They're there to get the harvest materials and fly on.
Oh, Blitz. Sorry. Nice to meet you. We should definitely hang out for sure. Thanks for hanging out. Go Raleigh.
Jackie's awesome.
Go Raleigh. Woo. So what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, the flamethrower thing, that was hilarious to me. I'm like, there's gotta be like tons of tanks of like explosives in here. And y'all are just like rolling around with open flamethrowers, like, okay, I trust you, I guess. Like, it's fine. Dallas is up in the air vents with a flamethrower. Okay, this seems good. Super fun. Oh my gosh. it that like killed me too with the flamethrower. But I do appreciate where you're coming from, and I agree that yes, they probably are not suited for a weird alien creature
Right.
is now on our ship, and um we need to do something about it. So I get
It's
that.
just like for like in the second film, it's like a team of military mercenaries that return back to the planet. So like they're super equipped. I mean, I don't think they ever wear protective material around all that stuff too. So maybe and that is a good point. But like, and you think a medical bay maybe have,
That's what I'm saying.
better
It's the
PPE.
science,
Um,
dude. Like there's got to be
right.
some eye goggles there. Like I'm not trying to get like like a whole PPE COVID-19 spacesuit thing, but like some goggles would be good.
Maybe
But
they realized that like it went through Kane's suit, like nothing we wear is
well,
gonna
fuck
help.
it.
Might as
Yeah.
well just yeah,
May as well.
might as well be comfortable.
May as well. And then I got so mad when that thing disappeared. I was so angry. You can see, so Clamps and I we have a shared document where we both wrote our own notes, and you can see Clamps where everything is all in all caps, and I was so mad about this thing disappearing. Um
It's like back
I
and
was
forth with
so
me
mad.
being like, so cool, so cool, so cool. And Jackie's like, so dumb.
I like to pick on like stupid little plot points. Like that's kind of my thing. Like they're not wearing safety goggles is like my speed of critiquing movies, and you are
I'm
much
going
more
to
focused.
I'm going to rebuttal that because again, this is all being sabotaged by Ash. So Ash
True.
calls him, letting him know that the face hugger has fallen off. Um, Now we don't see this on screen, so maybe I'm making too much of my own assumption here. But it's possible that like Ash is the only science person here. He could have told them it's safe.
Hmm.
He could have said Kane, when Kane's up and eating and whatnot, he could have been like, he's good to go. Whatever it is, it's gone now. My tests show he, I'm
Yeah,
assuming this because we don't see it,
sure.
but I think I think on an initial viewing, not knowing that Ash is the android is kind of like, what the hell are you guys doing? You don't want to scan him again or something like
Yeah,
that.
that
But he
was,
already did because he
yeah,
scanned him and he saw the embryo. So like, um,
yeah. I definitely wrote these notes in real time. And so,
right,
in the hindsight of knowing that Ash is basically an undercover agent, um, makes all the sense. But then in the moment, to have nobody even call it out to be like, wait, what the fuck? We weren't watching where this thing went. Like, why don't we know at
right,
all where it went? For no one else to question it was also, of course, I'm annoyed as the viewer. But again, could have avoided all of this if Kane didn't just fucking keep his hands to himself and not touch the eggy. He didn't have to touch
right,
the egg. Like,
right.
dumb. Kane,
Or you just
dumb.
rip the thing off his face. Like you're afraid he's gonna die. I don't
Yeah,
know.
why
I mean,
not?
it's got acid blood and it's
Well,
like,
and that freaked me out. Of course, now knowing that Ash is a robot, but I guess at the same time, like he didn't know because when they find it, when it like falls from the ceiling or whatever, Ash like gets his face right up in there and starts poking its tummy. I'm like, what's stopping this thing from jumping on you, dude? And so, of course, at the
right,
time, thinking he's human, I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? But even as a robot, he probably doesn't know, or is this whatever we call him, synthetic, whatever? Like, he probably doesn't know much about this creature, so it could have done that to him anyway. Like, and so I was kind of like, dude, aren't you kind of worried? Like, but I guess I can't, probably couldn't have laid an egg inside of its body or impregnate it. Is that what we're saying? I don't know. Was
yes.
Cain the first man to become pregnant ever?
The Alien friend, and I'm sure you picked it. The Alien franchise in whole, but the design is very SA um, sexual assault like
Sure.
coded.
Yes.
Um, so I think even Ash says at one point, like when they discover that the xenomorph is now fully grown, he calls it like Kane's child or something like that
He
too.
does. That was so
Um,
irky. I was like, ew, I hate
right.
that. Like, don't say that.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't think he has any knowledge of like how this thing operates. I assumed he thinks he's safe because
Because he's not
I think
human.
he might know already that like it needs like he kind of concluded it needs some sort of organic compound to
Mm-hmm.
lay its egg or whatever. So he's like, I'm okay at least, and I don't care if the captain gets infected and one more person, yay. So,
Yep.
um, but I always think it's kind of funny when he cuts it and the egg, um, like not the egg, the acid spews out. The guy has like the cloth there trying to catch it, and it's just like, did no one
Hmm.
get hit by that like ricochet acid squirt?
Yeah, there's like a lot going. Yeah, the fact that it only dripped on the floor, I was like, that seemed unlikely, but sure, like whatever.
Right.
But smart of them to go through I would not have thought this to like, let's go check the other floors. I would have just been like, oh shit, that sucks, and then like kept going. Like, I would not have thought that through. So,
You're
oh
in
my
space.
god, it's insane. Did you have any other good points that you would like to cover?
Let's see, what did I write here? What do you see? So we feel the Oh, I mean, this goes into the beginning again of like how slow it is, but I
Mm.
love panning through the ship before everyone wakes up, because the design of the interior of the ship looks like strangely alien, and
Yeah,
like I was wondering if you thought this. Did you think that? Oh, I guess it right off the beginning it does say like it's the ship of carrying people and whatnot. Um, but like at the same time, you're like, ooh, what's on board? Like, were you expecting to like find maybe something spooky within the first like minute?
I had,
Or
yeah, I didn't know what I was like because does it start with an establishing shot of the ship and then goes inside, or does it go the other
yeah,
way?
it starts with the establishing shot of the ship. It has like a superimposed image that
Okay.
says like crew of seven on its return journey and all that
Yes.
stuff.
So, okay, because I was like, at first when they were panning through everything, I just didn't know they gave the little with that little title card with like it was towing whatever whatever like you don't really understand what that necessarily means and how they've got this like oh you're a towing rig like that doesn't it's not like like a common space trope that there's like basically space
Right.
truckers. And so it's like, okay, maybe this material is going to come into play, like, and something's going to happen with it. Nope, it's just a towing truck. But I was confused why they were showing me so much of this ship because I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? Like, is something going to break? I mean, like not the warning thing that came up, but like when the screen started like buzzing and stuff, I'm like, okay, what's happening here? But you can't really
Hmm.
read it. So for me, honestly, I was more like confused about what I was supposed to glean from all this until we see the crew and having them in the like infinite sleep pod thingy. I actually just read recently, and now the title is escaping me, but it's by the same author who wrote The Martian, and I
Andy
cannot
Weir.
yes, and I cannot remember the name of the title of the book that I just recently read a
Oh,
while ago.
Project Hail Mary. I love
That
that
one,
book.
Project Hail Mary, thank you.
I can't talk enough
So
about that.
my we can't did you see they're making a movie first of all? We have to talk
I
about that.
did.
I'm so
I
excited.
did.
So without spoiling any of that book or future film, it does start with people being in like comas in space and waking up. And so my brain just went there immediately. I'm like, oh, I wonder if these people like have been asleep for like 25 years. Like that's just accidentally where my brain went because of the media I have recently consumed. And so I
Right.
thought it was going to be more of like a where are we? We're off course. Like I thought that's what we were going to end up doing. But no, the intro ship stuff actually left me more confused than intrigued, which is weird. But
Mhm.
oh,
I think
it's
there's
such a
some
good book.
intentionality with that, though.
Yeah.
I love Project Hail Mary.
It's a great. It's I can't wait for it to become a movie. I think it's going to be great. Like it's going to be really good. And Ryan Gosling I think is going to do really well. So we'll have to just do this even though it's not really a classic or a movie I have to
A
see, but
Jackie Reed stuff slash watches stuff
yes.
episode.
Oh, I can't wait. I have so many thoughts, but I'm not going to say them because every you can't talk about that book because then anything you say is a spoiler. I feel like
Yeah,
there's so many
especially with the
twists.
narrative structure of it that like it goes
Yes.
like back and forth.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna drop a link if anyone wants a new book to read. Um,
Also, the audiobook's pretty awesome if you want to
I
listen
have
to it.
heard that I need to listen to it. I think for reasons that I can't say. Um,
Let's
but
see. I
yes,
think
that's
that's
how
all
I
the
felt.
main things I wrote.
I did just see that I wrote myself a note that there was a point where it is implied that the alien eats the cat, and I was screaming the whole time. I'm like, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. And the 80s would do that. The 80s would be like, there was this cat. Do y'all love the cat? Remember that cat that you love so much? By the way, the alien eats it. Like, I really thought this cat was going to get eaten by this alien. It did not. It survives. We love the cat very much. And the
Ren-
cat is fine.
Render Penguin and I were watching it last night, and when Ridley gets in the escape pod, she just like chucks the box that's holding the cat.
Oh, she
And
gets rid of it.
la-
Yes.
we
Oh
were
my God. I
laughing
saw
so
that.
hard because she like
Yes.
just drops it, and then she like
Yeah.
kicks it into the thing.
Clearly the cat is not in this box when this scene was shot, obviously, but I was like, hey, can we make it seem like the cat is in there? Can we? Can we please not? Oh my God. Was eaten by no Wouter. That's so
The Alf needs to eat
sad.
cats.
I actually have never seen Alf.
I've never seen it either. I just like made the connection. I was like, oh yeah, Alf eats cats, right?
I didn't know that. So do people in the US apparently. Um anyway, fast fact time. This is where we look up fast facts on the internet about the movie and we share them. Do you have any fun fast facts?
Let me see, because I already
I know you did
said
share
my
some of your fun
good
ones.
one about.
That was a good one.
You go first. I will look to see if I have
Okay.
any other ones off.
Okay. So this was the one that wigged me out the most. I had to look up the how do they do the chess scene, the alien chess scene, because of course. And so of course there's so many facts about this. So the way they did it, they had the torso, this mechanical torso was on the table, and John Hurt, the actor, put his head, shoulders, and arms like through it, so it would like he kind of looked like one whole thing. So that was interesting because I thought maybe it would just be something that was like on his own torso that would like activate, but it was just a whole fake torso. So inside this torso, not synthetic blood. Nope, we used animal guts and blood and then a little air cannon. So all of these actors that got covered in
Oh God.
Kane's blood are covered in animal grossness. And it's like, I get this was the 80s. Fine. I'm pretty sure we had synthetic blood in the 80s. I don't think we were using animal shit in the 80s. And so that I think is grotesque. And so maybe that's why they didn't tell them what was going to happen, not to get the reaction, but to not have them sue and be like, I'm done. Like I'm leaving. Like
Oh my God, I did
could
not know
never.
that.
I could never. So it was gross. I hate that.
There was, in relations to poor safety procedures of the 80s, the spacesuits they were wearing had no way to filter out carbon dioxide. So like they were like a lot of them almost passed out because they were just inhaling like their own like.
Yeah. Dude, just put some fucking holes in the back of it. Like you're not actually in space.
Right.
That's insane. What's up with the old movies do something exactly. We just didn't consent was not real in the 70s and 80s. We just did whatever we wanted. I just can't believe this was not the first movie to use fake blood. Like this isn't like revolutionary. So I just don't understand why that was the choice. But
Yes, it says the suits were thick, bulky, and lined with nylon, had no cooling systems initially no venting for the exhaled carbon dioxide to escape.
my
Combined
God.
with the heat wave that was happening at the time, these
Good.
conditions nearly caused actors to pass out, and nurses had to keep on-hand oxygen tanks.
And then everybody probably passed out and died and nobody sued because that's just how the film industry worked in the 80s apparently. God, that's insane. Oh my God.
So you did not watch you watched the theatrical edition, right? Because last night I watched the director's cut.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference,
So-
but I probably just watched
Doesn't
the
have
normal one.
any added scenes. The only added scene that stood out to me was as Ripley is the last one surviving, and she's making her way back from trying to stop the self-destruct or start the self-destruct. She runs into this room where she finds Dallas still alive,
Oh.
cocooned up in like all this like nasty, as well as the guy that was looking for the cat. She finds both of them kind of just like
Oh.
cocooned up. And Dallas he's kind of like moaning something. Then he finally lets out something that just says "kill me." Then she
Oh.
burns them both alive with the
Oh.
flamethrower.
That's, I guess, like, interesting. That, like, then inspires, like, a whole new direction for, like, what does this alien want? Because at first it's just kind of like, oh, he's hungry and wants to eat everybody, kill everybody, question mark. But then if, like, he was saving them or something, I wonder why.
Its focus is more on. I don't know why they cut it because it's only like 10 extra minutes, 3 extra minutes. But the sequel really dives into that of like how these
Okay.
aliens seem to they can only reproduce one way. So like they gotta have hosts nearby ready to
Human
go.
host. Interesting. It's just vibes. Maybe he was already, like there already were. I were using the phrase impregnated. I don't know what it is, but maybe there was already a alien child like in it. But that so confusing though. Now that I'm thinking about that, Alien 1 came from egg. Alien 2 came from inside Kane's body.
Right. So
So
the entire life process of the
yes,
xenomorph
now I'm in science class.
proceeds as follows. There is an egg. In
Mm-hmm.
the second film, you discover there is something that creates the eggs.
Okay.
But there is an egg. Egg hatches.
Yes.
There is the face hugger, which is it is called.
Yes.
Attaches to a host.
Mm-hmm.
Impregnates in the chest area. Face hugger then dies when job is done.
Typical.
Then Chestbuster emerges, finds some place to hide so we can fully grow into a full-grown xenomorph, which only
Mm-hmm.
takes like an hour or something like that. So I guess the face hugger and the Chestbuster are mostly the same because
Yeah.
they have the DNA, but they are two separate things in a sense. Yes.
Interesting. So one species actually reproduces into another species, kind of. It'd
I
be like
think
if
in the
we
the
had
third film. Go ahead.
birds. Like if I like were to give birth but gave birth to a bird that then went and was a bird and laid eggs and made more birds. Like
Right. I think in the third film they kind of like explore like what happens if it's not a human. Like I think that a facehugger attacks a dog, and an alien emerges out of the dog that's like a four-legged xenomorph looking thing.
oh. It's like
So it takes on some features of
what's
whoever
that
the
called?
host is.
It's like that game. Remember it was like when iPhones first came out, the Little Alchemist, where you put the two elements together. Have you ever played this game?
I
They
don't think
have you
so.
start, it's like such a mindless game. They have you start with earth, air, fire, and water, and then you combine elements and it makes a new thing. So, like, if you put like air and fire together, you'll get smoke. And then, like, if you do smoke and earth, it's, I don't know, volcano. That's not right. But it, like, you can build
Right.
stuff with it. And so that's kind of like alien plus dog equals like this weird alien thing. And like
Right.
alien plus human equals this. Interesting.
And then I think for
Interesting.
like Alien versus Predator, like obviously they there's like a Predator, a Xenomorph hybrid. I don't know, I never saw it, but I
Hmm.
think they also dig into that too. So like it takes on some of the DNA of the host that it is growing inside, which
Mm-hmm.
makes
Hmm.
sense if you think about.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess so. Dang. And then a whole new species is created. Want to hear another gross fact?
yeah.
I have all the gross facts. So the eggs, for some reason, I can't find the justification as to why. The inside of them were made of cow hearts and stomachs. They used cow hearts and cow stomachs to make it look
Ugh.
gross, which is again why. I don't know why. And then they used sheep intestine for the face hugger, like tail and like limbs, which is also disgusting to me. And then, which I actually caught this when Ash, when he's dead and he like starts playing with it and like flipping it over and stuff. I'm like, dang, that looks like an oyster. Like the way that like he kind of pulled stuff. It's because
Mhm.
it was an oyster. I was right. they
Ah.
were they were using let me see, oysters, fresh shellfish, oysters, and a sheep kidney. And so for some reason we were low on synthetic budget. The Xenomorph inspiration sea creature? No, Pyro, tell us. Tell us the fact. So it was real gross over there. It probably smelled really bad.
Yeah, it says. I mean, you might have this in your fast facts. The liquid for the robots, milk, caviar, pasta, fiber optics,
Ew.
and a Foley urinary catheters were combined to form the android's innards. Um, I
Oh,
really like
yeah.
all the white stuff, and when you're looking down like its neck and you see all like the balls and whatnot and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
the fact that
Um,
Ripley, that's what I meant to complain about. The fact that Ripley knew how to magically like turn him back on. I was like, dude, you know this? You know just to like zap stuff, like this random synthetic thing, but whatever. But yeah, he was looking real gross after he came back to life. I was like, there's crusty white stuff all over your face. That's not a good look.
I like the, and this is probably more of a, you pick up at it more in modern day stuff, but it's like, the head's on the table, clearly
Oh my
like
God, yes.
a puppet or something like that. And then there's all of a sudden a cut, and then it's
It's like
clearly
whole
like
human.
he's on his knees and it's actually him again. And then there's another cut when it
Just
turned
like
him off and it's just like a fake prop head again.
yeah, it's like why couldn't you just have him close his eyes and open his mouth at that point? Like I don't understand. But yeah, no, that was so oh my God, that was so funny. I definitely saw that. I was like, "Oh, that's the most 80s thing about this film was kind of that like
Right.
really bad cut between dead, alive, and dead again." That was so funny. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's so like 99% of this is so well done for like a 70s, like 1979. Like
I agree.
there's only like three shots I think that really like stand out to be like
Yeah.
dated.
Hmm.
One of them being the head. I think
Hmm.
there's a wide shot of the ship landing, which doesn't look too good. And then when the alien is shot of the escape pod,
Yes.
it's like when the shark jumps on the boat at the end of Jaws. It's
Yeah.
just kind of just like,
Yeah.
all right, we're really going out on it here, but you got to
Hmm.
show it at least once, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, the effects definitely did not seem bad or cheesy or any of those things, except those
Mhm.
very, very minor moments. Even like when the alien, like when you see the alien, like the front shot and like its teeth, it's 18 layers of teeth and like that stuff, like that looks really good. Like I didn't think it looked like bad haunted house, like or cheesy 70s, 80s horror film. Like it did look like good. Was it like so scary it's going to keep me up at night? No, but it didn't look cheesy or poorly
Right.
constructed. So, um, for like a shrimp kind of creature, let me
I
look
want
it
to
up.
look at that. I don't know if I want to look at
I know, am I scared?
that. Laid its eggs
Oh,
inside jellyfish.
creepy. Oh, they're like translucent? I'm looking at it right now.
No, thank you.
Lays his eggs inside of jellyfish. Ooh, gross. I mean, I definitely can see the inspiration. Animals are weird, man.
Ugh.
For this,
I
oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're good.
No, go ahead. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Your the last like gross fact, which is related to the alien, is how they made him seem so gross. First of all, the actor who played the alien is named Bolji Badejo and was 7 feet tall. He's from Nigeria, and this was the only time he ever played the alien. They never had him play it again. 7 feet tall though. Like imagine him just walking around set like
There,
in that
there's a
outfit.
guy in uh Alien Romulus, the newest movie this came out. They had someone play a creature in that one, who was like this basketball player from like Romania or something, who I think was like 7'5", something like
Crazy.
that. Let me
I'd
keep
be
going.
freaked out. I would probably be more scared if I was on the set. I would probably that would probably live in my head and like prevent me from sleeping if I saw him
Right.
walking around versus like watching this film, which I hate to say. But
7'7" is the guy in Alien Romulus,
jeez.
Romanian basketball player. Um,
7'7". Dang. That's so crazy. So tall.
I know,
Um
just to kind of like be around they stand up and like I'm sure it kind of looks goofy on set, but it has to be a little bit of like
it's probably very
goofiness with it.
intimidating. Yeah, like I mean
Right,
that costume's like pretty demanding and then so to be over 7.5 feet tall and like looming, man, that's freaking crazy.
right.
With the alien costume, they did not use animal guts to make it gross, so I was very proud of them. Instead, they used KY jelly and condoms, which is like the next best thing. So all of the drool is lube.
It's just so wet. Like
It's
every time
really
there's a close up
sticky.
on the mouth, there's just so much
Yep.
liquid on it. It's so gross. Like
So just
I'm
imagine
not
them
even
just
like,
squeezing this tube of lube all over this costume.
were you like when it revealed it had like the second mouth inside of it, like did that like throw you off? Like were you that like scare you at all, or
It
like, oh
didn't
my God, it,
scare me. It was more like, whoa, this is pretty crazy. I actually was more in the world of like impressed. I think because I'm watching it in 2025. And so I
right.
was more like, whoa, this is really cool. Like it like impressive cool than actually scared. I actually was not scared in this film. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's kind of a scary movie." And it's like I don't maybe because I knew the chess scene was coming. I think you and I talked about this before we started that like
Right.
because the chess scene is so culturally relevant, I like know about it. And so as soon as he started writhing and I kind of saw some things pumping in his chest, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the scene. Like, I'm not scared of it.
Well,
I mean, was I shocked at what came out? Yes. Did I know it was gonna? I mean, I knew something was gonna come out of his chest. I had no idea what. And so seeing that like worm thing, I was like, okay, whoa, what am I getting into? But
I also don't know if you made the connection because like the end of Spaceballs, that's also John Hurt. It's the same actor.
oh, is
Um,
it? I didn't put
the
that together.
chest
No.
the chest bump scene at the end of Spaceballs is the same guy.
Oh, that's so
He even
funny.
says like a line when he gets it burst out, and then he looks at it and he goes, "Oh no, not again!" And then he
That's
just dies.
so funny. No,
Um,
I did not put that together. It's been a while since I've seen Spaceballs, but
yeah.
now,
So
see, now that's more funny.
I'm kind of the same. I mean, I saw Alien way too young. So
Oh,
it definitely spooked me, but I did
sure.
see Spaceballs first, so I knew some
Okay.
of this stuff was coming. Um, so, but I do think that like it's not scary by today's standards. It's
Hmm.
more spooky of thinking about it, like
Yeah.
the idea that this thing might have, like what if this happened? Like that's pretty
Yeah.
spooky to think about. But I do think like watching it for the first time in 2025, seeing so much stuff. Um,
Hmm.
I do think we've become a little dull to like what constitutes as scary on films.
Yeah. I
Um,
think that's it, is like, I mean, there's been some films though. I think for me, what like scary is like jump scares I hate, which like we were talking about. There weren't tons in this film. And if they were a jump scare, it wasn't like it was a cat jumping. Like it was kind of like, okay, I'm over that. Um,
right.
but a lot of times, like suspense and psychological horror like really gets me, and this doesn't really fit in that box either, mostly because this, I think because they set it in such a futuristic time, it doesn't feel very real to me. Like I don't feel like, oh, what if there are these like aliens that can like impregnate me in my chest,
Right.
out there, because this was happening to a random space towing rig in some random sector or whatever. And so I think that's part of it too. But I imagine that given the, like you were saying, what horror movies looked like at this time, I can understand why people were like freaked about this film.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Jaws where it's like I'm never going in the ocean again because like
Yes,
whatever.
because
Like
that's so
space is
real to
pretty
me.
easy to avoid.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and it's like this happened because again, Cain touched a fucking egg. And so that's also part of it for me, is like, well, I know I'm not touching an egg. So that's on Cain. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting film. I'm glad I saw it. Does it make me thrilled to watch the rest of them? Not necessarily. But also I think because I am watching it how many years later? It's
I
2025.
would
Like it's been a minute, like 40 years later. So,
I would give the sequel a shot.
okay.
Um, it's really good. I think it's better than the original. Complete tonal shift. It's no longer a horror. It is an action film that has spooky elements in
Oh,
it.
okay.
Um, but I think it is superiorly better. I mean, they're both so good. It's kind of almost hard to judge them, but I think it's way more quick paced. It's not slow. It is pretty much like the first opening 30 minutes is kind of like exposition and whatnot.
Sure.
And then after that, it's kind of just this nonstop like roller coaster of an experience.
Hmm.
Um, Watch the director's cut. They only add like 20 more minutes, but it changes the entire impact of the film. So I would recommend watching Aliens, watch the director's cut, then you could stop after that because the rest all
Okay.
kind of suck.
When ish did Aliens come out? Was it quite a long time after or fairly close? I guess I could just Google
I
this.
believe it was sometime after. It was a whole thing that they had to do. Alien came out in 79. Aliens came out 86, so almost 10 years later.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Different director. James Cameron directed it, famous from Titanic,
Oh,
Terminator,
okay.
all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A whole like drama on the set because like they went over to like London to shoot. Ridley Scott, who was the director of the original, was British. So they went over to the original studio to shoot it again. All the British crew hated James Cameron of like, oh, an American's coming in over to replace
Also, it's
our
James
famous British
Cameron.
director.
Yeah.
Um, they like Cameron didn't understand that like at 2 o'clock every day. They stopped for an hour for tea time, and like they were losing like production schedule. It was like amazing this movie even got made.
Interesting.
But like it became such like Sigourney Weaver got nominated for an Oscar for Aliens,
Oh,
um,
really?
which is like huge at any time for a science fiction
Oh,
movie to get
sure.
like acting nominations, but like especially in the 80s
Hmm.
for a female character to get like it's such a huge
All right.
breakthrough in
Maybe
lots of
I'll
different
have to
stuff.
watch it just for
Um,
her, for her
it's
acting.
it's really enjoyable. If you like 80s actions movies, it is the
Don't know if
quintessential
it's
one.
my genre,
Um,
but I'm assuming that she is the like truly the main character in Aliens. We like
she is truly the
Ripley.
main character. She become I think Render Franklin said this earlier that Ripley is the character that just like I don't want to do this, but I have to do this.
Yes. Hmm.
And it really falls in on Aliens where she's just like, everyone here is incompetent as shit. I'm taking charge here. I'm gonna
All
survive this
right.
if it kills me. Like,
It sounds like I would like that one better than
so it
Alien.
is it is a good time. I would highly
But
recommend watching Aliens.
yeah, okay. Would you? Pyro said that he would watch them out of order, but it sounds like you kind of have to watch these in order. Would there be a lot of I mean,
At
obviously I've
least
already
the
seen it,
first
so
two,
yeah. Because I feel
because
like there'd be a lot of context.
the second one picks up more or less immediately after. Like they find a ship that she was in the escape pod. So like
Oh,
you could watch it out of order and just have the understanding that she escaped this vessel. Um,
then it's
but
like the
like I think it
biggest
does add a
spoiler.
little bit more. Right. And then there's a whole bunch of prequels. So obviously, you could really watch those beforehand.
Yeah.
But they have all the. I don't really like most of the prequels because they have a lot of like fan service and those ones will aggravate you. Like if you're aggravated by people doing stupid things,
Ugh.
Prometheus is the quintessential example of characters just being idiotic. There's a character in that movie that is responsible for making the maps, and he has the super smart technology that map out a whole area that's attached to his wrist, and then he's the one that gets lost. He gets separated from everyone else. He has no idea how to get out of the room, and he's the first one to die from this weird creature. And it's like, dude, you made the map. You have it on your computer screen. Why
It's like
did you
this
get
is
lost?
literally on you. Like I don't understand.
Right.
I mean,
Everyone else got out just fine.
so, like I like a movie where everybody's stupid if everyone watching it with me will equally like yell at the people being like you're being so fucking dumb. I
Right.
hate you so much. But there definitely is like either you have to lean into it or like not make it happen. Like you can't have this middle like making poor actions like you said just for the sake of moving the plot forward. Which
Right.
is really annoying. Yeah. Becomes instantly
I
moronic,
mean,
truly.
I wouldn't touch the egg, but I'm also like a
No.
scaredy cat, and I think someone who's a little bit naive and thinks that like they're not gonna die, they might be like, I wonder what this thing is. Like I
Yeah.
said before, I could take a baby. Like that's probably his
I can just
mentality of
punch
thinking.
it. I'm in my
Right.
space.
What's the worst it's gonna do?
My spacesuit makes me invincible. It'll be fine. Like, no, don't touch the fucking egg. Like when as soon as he started touching the mist, I was like, dude, like that actually in my head, I'm like, he's first to die. Like I knew it. I'm like, he's touching stuff, like ridiculous. Also, whoever I think it was Kane. Was it Kane? It was either Kane or the guy that looked for the cat, whose name I can't remember, because they look very fairly similar. One of them was smoking on the ship the whole time. And I was like, this feels not safe. Like I don't
There's
understand.
so much smoking in that
Yeah.
movie. It's just like,
Which is funny because,
yeah,
like, in 20, I mean, it was because I looked it up. It was set in 2100 something. So, we're less than 100 years out from when this movie was based. But of course, in the 70s and 80s, everybody's smoking. But now that we sit here in 2025, the idea of like smoking on a spaceship is like, what the fuck what are you doing? Like, that's so stupid.
right.
So
I
it's so
feel like
funny to
there's
me.
like an explosive thing
Yeah.
that might happen with like
Again, with like there's flamethrowers and cigarettes everywhere, and I don't understand. Like, did science change in the
oh well, I mean
2100s?
they invented super fast space travel. I have to imagine they
Yeah,
have somehow made things a little bit better
yeah.
than what we have currently in space.
And they made it. This is actually the thing that drove me the most nuts. That was such an underlying thing is that apparently gravity exists on the ship in space. That was.
Yes.
I'm like, okay.
Artificial gravity.
Oh, is that what they had? Okay, did they explain it
Yeah.
and I just missed it? Because I was like, I'm so sorry. Aren't we in space and y'all are like sitting at a table eating breakfast? Like, why aren't we like catching the milk out of the air and like doing this and whatever?
I
But
think there is a line when they're leaving the planet, like when they're gonna take off again. I think they say something about turn on artificial gravity. Um,
oh, okay,
it's like a real quick line.
okay.
Um,
All right, as long as they
I just assume
acknowledge
most
it.
space. I just assume most space movies, like, if they don't talk about it and they're standing there, they just have artificial
Yes,
gravity.
we've just decided that this is how it goes, which is fine.
Right.
It did
This
kind
is
of jar
after
me.
Star Wars, so like I think
Oh, okay.
you know, I think Star Wars kind of set the standard of like you can walk
You
around
can
on your
walk on
ship and
space.
be fine.
Yeah, and that's so funny now that I think about it. I never questioned it in Star Wars, but I immediately, that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw this movie. Maybe because this is supposed to be real and Star Wars is
Right.
like, very
More fantasy.
fantasy. And
Right.
so I just allowed it to happen in Star Wars. But in this one, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Y'all are sitting at a breakfast table traveling in space. What? And then there was a cat, but crazy. Well, I appreciate you doing this with me. This was really fun.
Oh,
I
thank you.
always love chatting with my friends.
If you end up watching
I
Aliens and
know we'll
want to
have to
come
talk
back
about
for a
it.
part two, I'm happy to come back.
Maybe
Or
we'll
for
do
Project Hail Mary.
we'll do a watch party. Oh, we'll definitely have to talk about Project Hail Mary. But we will have to do a watch party where we all watch Aliens together. Maybe we'll do that
Yes.
instead for sure. But we can go find somebody to raid. I think I might just go bother. I know Zara's streaming. Um, Zara's streaming what looks like a lot of slot machine game. So what could go wrong?
Mhm.
You do
What
that?
could go wrong, as Kane said.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, everything, Kane. Everything can go wrong. Turn the music back on. Yes. And Penguin, really good to meet you for like 2 seconds visually and then in chat. Thanks again for the follow. Let me drop these raid messages and stuff. I'll be back. I don't know when, but tonight's the Bills game. Go Bills.
Go
That's what we'll have
Bills.
to do. We'll have a Jackie Watches Stuff post game recap with Jackie and Clamps. Even though I
Even
will
though
be,
Jackie will
I
fall
will
asleep
be
at
going to
halftime.
bed. I will be going to bed at halftime. It's a school night, so hopefully they have a really good first half. But Clamps, thanks again. If y'all haven't followed Clamps, let me do a little shout out. Clamps, definitely please go follow Clamps, because Clamps is great. I don't know what you've been playing lately-ish on stream, but I don't know if it's anything
I
good.
stream like once every 3 months, so
It's fine. It's worth the follow. Totally worth the follow. Totally get it. All right, let's roll out. I'm going to turn the music up. If my song will change, please change. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. Drink water, take your meds, say nice things to yourself. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.